First comic coming to the stage for this final half of the show is a dear friend of mine, and I really love him to death. He is a resident of Joker's Lounge. He was grandfathered into this room a long time ago. My good buddy, please put your hands together for Mr. Dylan Horvat, everybody.
I didn't want to do comedy, I'm just sad. No, I will. I'll tell you a nice story. I'll tell you a nice story of our family cat. A cat that my family's had for 10 years now. Beautiful cat, still really tiny. That's not an indicator of that. Still really tiny. And she's had everyone for the first 6 years at least told us what a beautiful name she had. Her name is Gypsy. It wasn't until 2020 that people started saying that Gypsy is actually a slur against, well, gypsies, the Romany people, I think they're called. And yeah, that started in 2020. It's only gotten stronger since then, that by the time this video gets uploaded, I'll have to take it down just for saying the cat's name. And I'll have to start claiming that I have a cat named the G word or something. And not only that, I was in a musical called Gypsy, and every show I'm in, I've got a big poster on my wall with the name of the show on it. So just in big Broadway letters, G-Y-P-S-Y. And it turned out to be a racial slur all these years. Can you imagine what this will be like in 10 years' time? Like, imagine going over your white friend's house, and he calls his cat over, and he goes, "Hey girl, her name is the N-word." You go into his room, and there's just this poster with N-I-G, etc. in big Broadway letters. I can't wait for 2034, that'll be interesting. But it makes me think, what is a slur? What counts as a slur? So I looked it up in a dictionary, and apparently a slur just means you're speaking incomprehensibly, that all the words run into each other. So really anyone who's had a few drinks say slurs. Maybe it's not so bad after all. One that comes to my mind is the M-word. Not to be confused with the N-word, this is the M-word. You can't say the M-word, it has to be little person or dwarf. Now, little person, like, is that a name? That's a descriptor of a person. That would be like calling me a person of below average height slightly. Because it's a vague description. Like, a lot of people consider me a little person because I'm 5'7", but not necessarily a midget. And dwarf, I don't get dwarf either, because the word dwarf comes from German mythology, meaning a creature that dwells in the mountains. And I don't think Peter Dinklage has ever done that. Thank you. Thank you for the singular clap. Well, that'll keep me up at night just like that one. Let's see, so we've spoken about slurs, what else can we talk about? Oh yeah, speaking of sizes, you'll hear a lot of opposing thoughts on what the average penis size is. Who is the most vocal about this? Women who've had a lot of penises, I've heard. They will always talk about what the average dick size is. And who are they sleeping? What dicks are they seeing? Usually guys with big dicks, I found. So if a woman tells you that the average dick size is 8 inches, do not believe them. For my sake. Because I don't think the amount of cocks that your friend Haley's taking counts as an actual metric. That's just me. But no, my girlfriend says I have a big dick though, it's okay. My girlfriend says I have a big dick. Because we like to roleplay. I love doing stand-up comedy. I just love stand-up comedy. I think past 20 years, I think my favourite comedian is still Carl Barron. The one who got me into it, the one who made me laugh non-stop 20, he's still my favourite. I've got a lot of other favourites too. I'm just not allowed to say that because it's Ricky Gervais and Dave Chappelle and they're being cancelled for all their transgender jokes and stuff. Legally not allowed to like them anymore. Carl Barron's in it clear though, although a couple of years ago I went to go see him at the WEC, and there's one point where he goes to the audience like, is that a boy or a girl? I can't tell these days. Almost had a heart attack right then and there. Then he goes, yeah, I just can't see the audience because of the lights. Biggest sigh of relief I've ever made. Still legally allowed to like Carl Barron. And a few months later I went to go see Louis C.K., but that's fine. He hasn't been cancelled for transgender jokes at all. It's to be cancelled for other things. I'm not going into it. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's got to be rough being a transgender person because there's a lot of denial that they even exist. But I've seen them. I can confirm that they exist. A lot of I'll say I'm like, they'll know a person's transgender. I'll say, oh, I was with this person and they were using these pronouns and all that. And they, you believe in that? As if I was saying I was hanging out with the moon landing or something. a lot of old people that can't get. Andy's cool. Andy's one of the cool old people. You're one of the good ones.
It's confuses the fuck.
Confused, yeah. No, look, fair. It can be confusing, I get that. But you're not outward aggressive, like so many of these people are. They'll refuse to say a transgender person's chosen name, but foreigners who come to Australia and get a new name, that's their favourite thing to call them. Their grandchild will be like, oh, you call yourself James now? Nah, your name's James. You've always been James. And then Muhammad Abdul will fly over, like, Muhammad Abdul? Nah, your name's Greg. That's the name everyone knows you by. My family's actually very progressive when it comes to these stuff. I've had like parents and grandparents and aunties and all that say, they're like, oh no, it's very, we would accept anyone who is different sexuality, different gender and all that. We would accept anyone for the way they are. And then there's me and all my siblings and cousins and there's like not even a gay among us. It's such a waste. We're all heterosexual and cisgender as far as I know. We're like, we've got super accepting parents. Lucky us. It's like we're in this like giant mansion with a million unused rooms, just relaxing. All these poor transgender people trying to get in, needing a place to stay. We're like, sorry, get better parents. That's what it feels like. We just lock a door and call them slur or something. That's just what it feels like. Alright, that's my time. I'll give you back to Mike now.
Dylan Horvat, everybody. Dylan, keep it going for us.
Okay, lovely.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one.
See you, Lucy.
Nice to meet you.